Good morning, everyone, and welcome to NCFE's webinar for digital functional skills. It's good to see so many people online today, especially when the sun's shining. At least I hope it is shining where you are. A quick introduction. My name is David Redden. I am the product manager for digital skills at NCFE, and I have been leading on the project to bring digital functional skills onto the market. Firstly, just to let you know, today we are recording, so this record will be sent out afterwards. If any colleagues haven't been able to attend in real time, we will have this recorded. There's a Q&A button on the top bar where you can post your questions throughout as we go through. Please fire as many questions as possible. We'll try and answer some at the end, but often with time restraint, we might not be able to get through them all. However, we will answer them all in a separate document, and a follow-up email will be sent out where we'll capture them questions and provide the best answers possible for you. So do send some questions through. Just be mindful, obviously, as I go through, there may be some content that's going to be covered. So in terms of digital functional skills for NCFE, we were delighted to receive the news that we complete the technical evaluation with Ofqual, and we are approved to go to deliver the qualification as a one organisation. Only, I believe, 2 of one organisations that have been approved so far. So we're really happy with that. And today it's all about telling you about that product, giving you understand what digital functional skills is, what our offer will be, and a little bit about funding at the end and functional skills ICT. So what is digital functional skills? So it's part of the Department for Education plan to improve adult digital skills. They released national standards a few years back now for basic digital skills, and it looked at providing people with the skills they need for life, work, and education. So it's about that everyday life aspect. It's about being able to go online and do a food shop. It's about being able to take a photo and edit it. It's about being safe and responsible for online, understand your digital footprint. You know, it's a wrap around. It's there for people to enhance their ability to participate in work, to be able to do video communication for families, and be able to access benefits from money saving websites, etc., improving their social mobility. So it's not a qualification that leads into a digital career, and for that reason, these qualifications, along with the essential digital skills, have been put at entry level 3 and level 1, because the policy believes that level 2 you start in a more specific area of digital, where it could be coding for one reason, ethical hacking, etc. These qualifications will replace functional skills ICT, and they will sit alongside essential digital skills, and will be fully funded for 16 to 19 and adult provision. The subject content is based on the new national standards for essential digital skills, and it's the same across all award organisations. One of the big questions we get is, what is the difference between essential digital skills and digital functional skills? For essential digital skills, there was flexibility for award organisations to choose which subject content they were going to assess. For digital functional skills, all award organisations have to assess all the subject content. Don't worry, it won't be assessed in all in one paper. There'll be an iteration of a paper that will have to cover it all, but we'll have to cover it all. Also, for essential digital skills, it was a bit more relaxed in terms of this content statement. For example, it might be format of Word document is one of the content statement. For digital functional skills, it's a bit more in detail, so it'll be format of Word document, but also be able to make letters bold, to change the size of text. It's more descriptive. So those are the key things, along with the GLH being set for functional skills and being up to the one organisation for essential digital skills. So as I say, it's awarded at entry level 3 and level 1. Entry level 3 will combine entry level 1 and 2 within that, and it will be a pass-fail grading, just like the functional skills English and maths. For NCFE, We've made a decision to make our entry level 3 assessment 1.5 hours long, and our level 1 assessment is 1 hour 45 minutes. So slightly shorter than the current functional skills ICT, and within them there will be 2 sections, and there'll be an optional break for learners if they so wish. Excuse me. It is 55 guided learning hours. That was a decision made way before the qualification started development. It was made by the minister at the time, Anne Milton, and it put us in line with the English and Math digital functional skills. It is an on-screen online assessment only assessment. We don't see any way that there'll be paper-based. The only paper-based version we may provide as a reasonable adjustment a paper-based for learners who need to read off the paper rather than off screen, but all tasks will have to be completed on screen. And the subject content is split over 5 sections, very much the same as essential digital skills, and not a lot of change there. So what about NCFE digital functional skills? To start this project, one of the key things we wanted to do was put a validation process in place. We reached out to customers, current customers and people that don't actually work with NCFE, and just asked them to form part of a focus group that we reached out to throughout our journey through this qualification. So from the very beginning, we met and asked for their views on what they feel the assessment, the qualification should look like. We then went away, we developed a qual specification. They fed back into that, give us some information and helpful advice, which we took away and fed into it. We've also used them for learning resources, for the skills assessment platform, for initial assessment, and for the final assessments as well. So we've been touching base all the way through to get that feedback back in to make sure that what we're producing meets the customer needs. We've also done some pilot schemes with resources we've ran out and let them be used with learners. The initial assessment gone out to centres where learners have started and fed back their thoughts on the initial assessment. So again, that whole validation process, making sure it's fit for purpose. And of course, we've used external stakeholders as a part of that development as well, making sure we've got the right expertise working on the project. And this all helps provide a robust qualification for NCFE. So our offer is split into 4 sections. First one being we will offer an initial and diagnostic assessment through our Skills Builder platform. We will also have teaching and learning resources. So we'll have a full suite of teaching resources from entry level 3 to level 1, which I'll discuss in more detail, and individual learner resources as well. So we'll recognise that's a new qualification, never been delivered before. The first question is, what resource have you got? We've got that for you. We have provided all that as a resource to support you. We've also got tutor support and onboarding. So some of you may have already been attending our Prep to Teach events. If not, there's a link at the end of this slide that you can sign up for. But those are all about covering the relevant areas of the qualification, giving you all the information you need to deliver that qualification. If the qualification goes live, we've got subject specialists on hand to do that onboarding and do that provider development support that we've had for English and Math and for essential digital skills. We also will have on-demand assessment and fast results. So that's the 4 key areas of our product. Each will be individually available, and we will also bundle it up as one product. So if we look at skills assessment first, so what you will get from skills assessment, you will get initial and diagnostic assessments. From that diagnostic assessment, it will produce an individual skills plan for that learner that will identify their skills gap, assign them resources to work through to mark their progress through the qualification. We will have that with independent learning resources, a mixture of workbooks, interactive PDFs, practical skill questions, and videos. And around that, we'll have quality dashboard reporting that will also track your learner's progress. It'll identify which learners have done the initial assessment, done the diagnostic, how engaged they've been in learning resources, and give you that wraparound thing. And the reporting will allow you to have a report set up daily, weekly, monthly, annually that will go straight in your inbox at a preferred time that you set. On the screen, some screenshots. If you've used initial assessment before for math and English, some of these be quite familiar with you. The top left, we've got the diagnostic breakdown. So it's that RAG rate, and green showing that the learner's got embedded knowledge. Red, it means that they need some work on that, they're struggling in that area. And the yellow is around, they've got some knowledge and they need a bit more work to do that. Breaks it down by the different themes and entry level. The initial assessment will bring it out as a working towards level. So for this learner here, it's at entry level 3, but you get that spiky profile across all the 5 different themes as part of that qualification. From that, you can start your individual skill plan, you can assign resources, they've got resources pre-built in, you can set targets for your learners, and you can see the progress. So on the screen here, you might not be able to see very well, but you've got dark green there. So that's the embedded learner for being safe and responsible online that the learner already had. And the lighter green shows the work that they've done, and that progress is 40%. So when Ofsted come looking in, you've got that progress tracking inbuilt within the system. And you can access all that through our quality dashboard. So we'll give you a lovely, pretty chart. There's other charts as well. This one, but this one just showing the volume of learners that done initial assessments for entry level 1. That came out entry level 3, sorry, and level 1. So you can track that learner. In terms of the resources that you get, so you have that initial and diagnostic assessment. We have also built some foundation level resources, cover recognise, start and entry level 3. Some learners may need some support at that. So you've got an option where you can either use the foundation learning resources before the initial assessment, or if it's identified and needs some work, you can do it at that assessment. And what these foundation level resources are, the little short videos and engaging tools to give them that basic stepping stone so that the DFEs identify what they see as essential foundation skills that the learner should have. So it could be it's really as basic as turning on the laptop or pressing the right button. What does the right button on the mouse do? It gives you that stepping stone and it prepares them ready for entry level 3. From the initial diagnostic, you go to get the individual skills plan, and that then identifies them and work towards entry level 3 or level 1. So what you will get then, you've got videos, you've got interactive workbooks and practice questions. What we've got built on the platform is some practical skills questions, so use some storyline technology, and it allows learners to practice practical skills that they'll be tasked with in the assessment in a safe environment without having to go out on the wild web. They can do it in a safe environment, practicing sending emails that are not going to go anywhere external, etc. So we've got a lot of them in practice questions to recognise. Teaching and learning often focus on subject content. When it comes to the assessment question, what does that look like? So we've added in some assessment questions to prepare them for that final assessment. And for each theme, they have a summative assessment, and if they achieve that summative assessment, I think it's above 70%, it shows that progression and they can move on. That's just the same slide repeating. So that gives you a full understanding of the resources. So we've got the foundation level resources. We'll just mention the teaching resources in a second, but we've got blended schemes of work, we've got full lesson presentation, we've got interactive resources and workbooks, interactive video resources. So we've got you covered on every level. Covering you'll need that up front, ready for that delivery in August. So looking at the teaching resources now, so for the scheme of work, we've got a scheme of work for all 5 themes at both entry level 3 and level 1. And one of the feedback that came out from the focus group was often you'll have mixed level lessons. So you'll have learners who are entry level 3 and learn at that level 1. So where practical, we have blended that scheme of work so that you can deliver both entry level 3 and level 1 to in one class, so you can utilize the resource for both levels of learner. We've also got the teaching packs, which if you've used English math ones, follow a similar path where you get a session plan, you've got a presentation that covers each content statement. and within that you'll have activity worksheets, etc. That allows the learner to express their knowledge, and it's also got videos where appropriate. You've got interactive workbooks on the skills assessment section. So this is an example of that. The learner can put their name in. They use interactive PDFs, which makes it a bit more digital, a bit more forced, not just a Word document that they're filling in. They're engaging, they're clicking links and moving throughout it. We've got the videos. We've got brand new videos for this qualification, all aimed at being engaging, again, tested with focus groups. And on the bottom left there is an example of one of the practical skills assessments that we're doing, where they go through a real life scenario in a safe environment. I mentioned we've got the subject specialist support. So what do they provide? That's all free as part of our service, and for every centre that comes on board. Obviously, the prep to teacher sessions that's been going on. Online introduction ahead of the delivery. We're trying to prepare people so they can start planning now for that delivery. There'll be a video library that has teaching strategies. It's got best practice, top tips, looking at all the different areas, and that will obviously be built up as we go through the qualification. Please bear in mind, as at the very start, we're building up in the same speed as yourselves, and from using learner data, we'll be able to identify the areas that we need to focus on and make them more effective rather than just a generic field. And every centre will get onboarding CPD sessions. So we'll have the specific onboarding for the centres. We'll have monthly onboarding. We'll have a drop-in clinic, which will be a monthly thing where centres can come online at a set time and ask questions. So anything around delivery, what you need to know, you can engage that question. And there'll be quarterly CPD webinars as well, where we'll focus on a specific digital area and do some CPD for you. Moving on to the assessments, NCFE's made a decision to make both assessments external assessments only. So there won't be any requirement from the centre to mark papers, to IQA papers, and have an EQA review. It will be very much like the level 1 and 2 functional skills ICT, where it's externally assessed only. The learner sits the assessment, remark the assessment, and reissue the results. The reason for this is because it's online assessment and learning from essential digital skills is actually there's very little difference for an entry-level learner between a controlled assessment and an external assessment. The main difference is it's more an administrative burden for the centres. So what we want to do, we recognise that you're the best people to deliver this qualification. So we want you to focus on that delivery. We are the best place to create the assessment, to mark the assessment, and validate that whole result process. So we'll take that. That's our responsibility. And I think it's the best of both worlds, where both parties mutually benefit from it. So both assessments will be on demand, on screen. All information will be captured within the platform. There'll be no requirement for an assessor to complete an observation form on the learner's work. Everything will be captured within the system. Both assessments will be compatible with our remote invigilation offer. Initially, we'll offer in a record and review, but we are currently looking at a live proctoring service as well. But what it means is learners can sit remotely in the home rather than have to come into the classroom or an office into their assessment. And as I said, there's no requirement for you to mark it. We will issue the results. We will validate all that process. In terms of the results, we will issue results in 6 working days. However, initially, there will be a delay in that 6 working day kicking in, just because we'll have to go through that awarding process. We will be opening our assessments on the 1st of November, and we will issue the first results from those papers on the 19th of December. So that allows enough learners to get through, sit the assessment, and for us to complete that awarding process. The reason we've held back is, again, lessons learned from essential digital skills. It took a long time for centres to start putting learners through assessment, and what we don't want is a learner sitting in assessment in August and there not being enough learners at the assessment that we can't release that result until November, December. So by this, we're allowing a period of time for delivery, and then hopefully when all learners are ready, We'll get as many learners through as possible in that period in November, and that will allow us to set a valid and reliable pass mark that will benefit your learners long term, because the more learners we get through sitting that assessment, the more valid and reliable that pass mark becomes. What the assessment looked like: so entry level 3, sorry, split in 2 sections. Section 1 is a multiple choice and short answer question. There'll be 9 questions, a max of 12 marks, and it will last for 20 minutes. The learner simply goes through, like some of the screens here, shots here, answer them questions. Once they finish that, if they finish early, that's fine. They just click finish. They then get asked if they want to take a 30-minute break. It's up to the learner. You can jump straight into the assessment, or you could have that break. Then it goes into section 2. Section 2 is looking at the knowledge area, and it's performed with 2 tasks with a maximum of 28 marks and lasts for an hour and 10 minutes. So this is where the learner will be asked to do on here is if you need to find you're buying a return flight from London to Rome. You need to fill the form out to set up your account, and then it'll ask them to search the best price for that flight, etc. So it's all that practical skills, and that will be done within the system. Level 1, again, split into 2 sections, section 1, section 2. Section 1 is again 9 questions, but there's a 15 mark, maximum 15 mark for that, and again that'll last 20 minutes. Section 2, there's 2 tasks, maximum 35 marks, and that takes an hour and 25 minutes. And again, it's a knowledge-based section where the learner will be asked to go out and do some tasks to test their abilities. So our offer as a whole there, you can get skills builder, initial assessment, diagnostics and learning resources as a commodity. You can buy the teaching resources as a pack. You can buy just the qualification, just the registration and the remote invigilation separately. Or you can buy it all as one bundle, where you would get for one registration fee, the initial and diagnostic assessment, individual skill plan, learning resources, the full suite of teaching resources, quality dashboard, the qualification reg and cert fee, free subject specialist support, and results in 6 working days. We're just finalising the price. I'm sure that's what people probably already typing after how much it's going to cost. It will be a very competitive price. We're just putting the final dots on the i's and the crosses on the t's. We'll hope to have that out next week and share that information. So in terms of funding information, just to be clear on funding, always refer to the SA funded adult education budget funding rules from 23 to 24 and the funding guidance for young people from 23-24 for the most up-to-date data. And we'll also recommend checking with the ASFA funding contract manager for final confirmation. This is our guidance, this is our thoughts on what's going to happen. Always check with the real funding experts, as is my advice. But for this, Functional Skills ICT currently has a policy rate of £336, which will end on the 31st of July 2023. We are making that assumption that level 1 and entry level digital functional skills will be set at £336 for 23-24. In 24-25, we're expecting new qualification to be treated as the ICT for users and SSA for that, meaning that the funding rate for the new digital functional skills for that year will increase to £462. Remember, the new funding formula will then be calculating the hourly skills by the guided learning hours. So it's set for £8.40. These qualifications are 55 GLH. So that works out into £462. So what we've got on table there, we've got the essential digital skills for NCFE and the digital functional skills for NCFE, and we're showing what we believe will be the funding for that. So that's just some information. Like I say, check with your funding contract manager for definite confirmation, but that's what we're expecting to see. In terms of functional skills ICT, as you know, that's come to an end, digital functional skills replacing it. Just some key dates for you to be aware of. The last registration for functional ICT is the 31st of July. So at the end of this month, the last time you make any registrations on that qualification. From NCFE point of view, the final date for assessment will be on the 24th of June 2024. The final EQA review for those entry level. EQA review is the 30th of June 2024. And the final external assessment release date will be the 1st of July 2024. The final certification date coming in the 31st of July 2024. We'll come a bit earlier, and that's just to make sure that we've got plenty of time to wrap up those loose ends. That, you know, if we went right to the final date of 31st July, there's a risk that we wouldn't be able to certificate the learner. We'll just give you plenty of warning to plan that into your delivery. Obviously, the first focus this year, digital functional skills go live, so the registrations will drop onto the new qualification, and then, you know, the first assessment comes from the 1st of November. On the slide there's some more information. We have a web page on our website that gives you all the information about digital functional skills, our approved offer. It also has the links for the events that we're doing and some support. If you want to book a skills assessment demo, you want to see this initial assessment up front, there's a link there where you can access that as well. The slides will be sent out following this session, or you can contact us at digital@ncfe.org.uk if you want more further information around that. Obviously, there's lots more that we'll be discussing. We'll be doing some more sessions like this, sharing more information in the coming weeks, so do keep an eye out. But do contact your account managers for more information. They have more details as well that they can share with you and talk you through what that approval looks like for the qualification. Okay, I'm just going to open the Q&A box, see if any questions. Okay, the first one from Nat. Am I correct in thinking that live proctoring would suggest we will need an invigilator who's not the tutor? No, for that live proctoring, what that means is it'll be a live independent invigilator for the learner. So admittedly, we use record and review, which means the learner can sit at any time of the day, night or weekends, and that works for some learners. But what we're hearing is some learners need a bit more of physical support. So what it'll be is they would have to book a set date and time with the invigilator, and it'll be a live person on the other side of the camera invigilating them. Hope that answered that question. Susie, any plans for after the ADSQ assessment for no assessor IQA, EQA requirements, the same way as functional skills? At the minute, no. Essential digital skills, we're keeping that separate. That will continue as a controlled assessment. That's what we're being approved on. You know, we will monitor that and we review it on an annual basis, but at this moment in time, there's no plan for review. No plans for changes, sorry. Once again, for foundation level resources are presumed for teaching delivery. They do not need a crawl, so no funding attached. Such a shame that no entry level one, big jump. So the foundation learning resources, they're built for learners to be able to engage. Obviously, with those type of learners, there may be some support for that. Appreciate what you're saying about funding. Unfortunately, that's out of our hands. All we're trying to do is provide enough resource. You know, it's not going to fill every hole for those learners. It's a start and it's an introduction to those key skills that they need to move up. But we do recognise that, unfortunately, with the Department for Education, they took the decision to leave it at entry level 3 and level 1, and there's not a lot we could do to influence that, unfortunately. Hillary, I assume you're expected to use the skills builder resources. What extra cost is involved with this? The skills builder resources is optional. You don't have to take the skills builder resources. Everything, you can just get the qualification, pay the reg search fee. That's how you want to go. We will offer these. You can buy just the skills builder initial assessment and resources, and you know we'll quote you a price for that if you want to get in touch with the team. It'll often be competitive price as normal, but you don't have to take that. It's there to support you. What we will make is when we bundle it together, it will be a very attractive price because we want obviously as many people to use the resources and use that support because we feel these are high quality resources that will cover your every need and support your learner and help improve attainment. Susie, still not clear to the difference between ADSQ and digital functional skills. Read that ADSQ was more focused on skills for life and digital functional skills for work. Find it a challenge to be able to offer both. Could a clear table chart be created? It is something I'm looking to do, and you're right. It's not the clearest. I'll be transparent. It's not the easiest thing to demonstrate. I am going to try. It's a challenge, but it's built on the same subject content. Essential digital skills is more for more life-based skills, where digital functional skills will be more for work-based. But that doesn't mean that there's solely one for work, one for life. They do have to cover a variety of environment. But I do take that it's hard. It's something that constantly been discussed for the last 3-4 years when new qualifications being developed, and I will try and get something out that makes that clearer for you. How does the content differ from the ADSQ? Please call spec and unit name and description look identical. The content broadly the same because it comes from the same standard. As I said earlier, digital functional skills, we will assess all the content, whereas ADSQ, only some of the content is assessed. It's a bit more descriptive for digital functional skills. It goes a bit more deeper into what the learner is required to demonstrate, whereas ADSQ they're not required to have a thorough demonstration. But you know, it's something like that previous question, Susie. But we'll try and separate. But where they are similar, there's no getting away from that. I understand that. Heather, will the optional break and exam be a separate key code, or will it need to be managed through the dashboard? It'll not be a separate key code. It'll all be part one assessment, and you just manage that in a normal invigilated manner. What was it say? It's obviously learn section 1 will be more question based. So, you know, once that's over, then the second part is all around performing the skills section. So, you know, there's less risk in that in terms of Googling answers, for example. So they can't go back into section 1 after that point. Once they've answered that lockdown, it's finished. But you just manage that through your invigilation. Hillary, are there any NCFE digital skills qualifications that are not exam based, like essential skills and maths? We do have digital skills qualifications that are internally assessed. In the follow-up, I'll detail what they are, or speak to the account manager. They'll be able to advise. Is this qualification suitable for under 16-year-old? I believe so, yes. There's obviously from funding to funding for under 16s work differently to over 16s, but absolutely this will prepare learners for digital skills in schools. We've already had quite a few schools express interest. We've had, I believe, a school involved in the focus groups that we spoke about. So I would say yes, definitely it will be a really good qualification for those young people to progress on to. So Chris is asking if the first part, will the exam be taken through Surpass? Its essential digital skills is presently, yes, it will be done on the same Surpass platform. Are you reparting the bite-sized sessions? The last one finished today. We will be putting up some more data and there'll be recordings thrown up as well for those sessions, Rob. Chris, will some exam materials be available prior to 1st of August to allow our tutors to get field content and exam? They will. I had confirmation yesterday that we've got the sample assessments ready, which this week will be finishing the uploads, getting them on the website, etc. So we're hoping to have that in place sometime next week. Bit of technology is always a challenge, but that will be the plan. But we will have that up, and it'll allow you to go through a sample assessment for both levels. Just on the sample assessments, it'll take a while for us to build our sample assessment packs up, just as it does for every new qualification. So do bear that in mind. There's not going to be 5 sample assessments from the start. We need to go through the papers before we can upload more sample assessments. So he's asking what is happening in level 2 ICT. It finishing with the rest of functional skills ICT for the functional skills one. From what I understand, there is going to be a lack of level 2 at ICT. I think there might be a level 2 ICT user, but the funding, I believe, has been withdrawn for most of the ICT level 2 qualifications. Department of Education hasn't really given any idea around that area. So at the minute, it's a bit of an unknown, but from the guidance we've had for this qualification, is they see digital skills just sitting at the highs at level 1. I think that's just about it. I'm aware we've ran over now. Jackie's asking, will offering paper-based workbook resource. That will be a downloadable version that you'll be able to print off, I believe, but I will confirm that in the follow-up questions. Where can we get the resources and initial assessment diagnostics? Do we need to apply for this qualification approval? You're already approved for ICT level 1, 2. Anyone approved for functional skills will get auto approved for digital functional skills. For initial and diagnostic assessment, there's a link to booking a demo for that. As part of the approval process, come the 1st of August, you will be able to get approval as part of the bundle, excuse me, or separately. So we're quite happy to set that up. We'll do the usual skills assessment service, onboarding and training. There's no cost for our training. We will provide that for you. And best recommendation, the first step is to probably book a demo for skills assessment and speak to your account manager. They'll be able to supply you all the intimate answer to the questions that you have on that. Okay, just conscious, ran over just slightly, but I did want to answer them questions. We will follow up and answer them in more detail following this. You'll get the copy of the slides and there'll be a recorded copy of this to share with other colleagues that couldn't make it. And just thank you for the time. Thank you for the participation. Have a lovely day.